delighted to do my presentation today. Dayan will be presenting a module from the Successful Club series, Evaluate to Motivate. These modules are designed to help our club to excel in its growth and development. The speaker will be inspiring the audience to improve personally, emotionally, and professionally. Please help me to welcome lady, I call her lady, she's my lady, Dayan Price.
Well, I want to start off by asking everybody in the room to give me a show of hands. What I'd like to know is, how comfortable are you with evaluating someone's speech? Show of hands. How comfortable are you in evaluating someone's speech?
Does that mean really comfortable?
Really comfortable. I mean, if you can give me a...
Oh.
Yeah. So the purpose of this module is really to talk about what it means to evaluate, what it means to you as an individual, what it means to the club. In Toastmasters, you know that what we're working on is our ability to be effective speakers. And the second thing that we're learning to do is be effective in our leadership. When you're evaluating, you are really doing both. I'm going to explain why that is. When we come together as a group and we hear evaluations, the speaker learns to improve their own performance by hearing that feedback about what they've just presented to the group. When you're an evaluator, you learn to be able to summarize information very quickly and stand and give information to the group based on that feedback that you're providing. As an audience member, when you begin to hear other people doing their evaluations of speeches being done, it helps you to cement in your mind the kinds of things that you would like to incorporate in your own speeches, or the things that you need to be aware of that maybe would prohibit you from excelling in a particular area of your speech development. The goal of this is to provide immediate feedback. We want to reinforce positive speaking behaviors, and we want to help our speaker when we do an evaluation to focus on the areas that need improvement. The important thing about being an evaluator is you're giving the speaker a different perspective of how the information was received. This is the value also of you as an audience member also filling out the evaluation form. It helps the speaker to have another perspective, because each of us comes with our own understanding of how the world works or how information should be presented that makes sense to us. And so if every one of us really takes the time to fill out information on this form, you give your speaker a much broader perspective on how they can be more effective. One of the most important things is we all want to grow in our speech development, being able to be effective speakers. So this gives us an opportunity to hear feedback, build our self-esteem, build our self-confidence, and to be able to continue to improve. And we've all had the experience now being part of this group and seeing our co-members excel in ways that they didn't think they were able to do when they first joined the club. When you're doing the actual evaluation, your speaker has done their speech and you're giving the evaluation, remember, this is not about you. This is about the speaker. It's all about them. So when you do the evaluation, you make eye contact with the person who's done the speaking. This is not a two-way conversation. As tempting as that can sometimes be, it's not a two-way conversation. It's merely making eye contact and giving feedback so that the person knows how effective their delivery of their speech was. It's important to note that new members do not do evaluations until you've done a couple of speeches yourself. So keep that in mind. How to evaluate effectively. One of the best things that you can do, and you can do this practice when you're doing your introduction for your speaker, is to review the manual. Can't emphasize that enough. If your speaker is doing speech number 2, what are the objectives of speech number 2? What is it they're trying to learn, and how can you help to reinforce that learning? So that's very important. I believe that it's also important when you're introducing your speaker, give the audience a heads up. What is your speaker trying to do? And if your speaker is working on something very specific, maybe they use too much jargon when they talk, be aware of that and be able to coach your speaker when they get up and do their program. You want to make sure that as an evaluator, you're really letting the speaker know that you're very interested in helping them and that you've listened to their speech, and you want to exhibit your desire to help your speaker to grow and to improve. You want to personalize your language. And when I say that, it's never about the audience did this, the audience felt that. It's always very personal. It comes from your own perspective, because people in the group may not share that perspective. So it's very much about you didn't do this, or stay away from words like you didn't, or you should have, or you failed to. And instead say, I believe, my reaction to that was, I suggest that. It's good to also use things like what I saw was this, what I heard was this, what I felt was this. You see the difference? It's a very personalized connection with the information that you've heard. When you're evaluating the speech, it's never about evaluating the person, not their behaviors, their mannerisms, things like that. It's about evaluating the speech. Your goal is always to support, to help, and encourage the speaker. You always want to make sure that you paid attention to the speaker's goals. If your speaker is really nervous or very fearful or very insecure, be sensitive to that. Be sensitive to that. And evaluate what the speaker does, not what the speaker is. One of the most effective ways in giving feedback is to start out with an overall summary. Your speech about this was very interesting. You know, highlight some information about what the speech was about. And then you sandwich your feedback. So you start with information about what the speaker did well. If there's an opportunity for improvement, you put that in the middle. And then you follow up with more positive reinforcement of what the speaker did right. From a coaching perspective, don't go more than 2 areas of improvement. It's not that there aren't sometimes more opportunities for improvement. We've all had those speeches. But it's counterproductive. You can only focus on so many things at one time that you want to improve on. So just give that speaker just 1 or 2 things that you think that would just take that speech to the next level. Any questions so far?
I'm good.
Again, about promoting self-esteem, it's always about giving very honest and very sincere praise. It's always about acknowledging positive reinforcement when improvements occur. You have been here, most of you have been here now for several speeches, and you might notice something that maybe was uncomfortable for your speaker 3 speeches ago, but now they're just excelling at it. Be sure to bring that up, because that says we're paying attention to each other as members, and we all want the same thing. We all want every single person in this group to be successful. Again, I said always make your evaluation end on a positive note. It's normal to sometimes hear a speech and just want to just tell them how just wonderful it is, and you just go on and on and on about that, but you don't offer any opportunity for improvement. You're not helping the speaker at all to do that. You are inhibiting the group's growth You're not helping the speaker to become more effective. So always try to find that thing that you think would just take it to the next level. Maybe they did something and it wasn't wrong, but it could be even better than what they did previously. Just in wrapping up, in keeping your information organized, I would say utilize the mind mapping techniques that Clement taught us. I don't know if everyone was, how many people were here for Clement's mind mapping? It's a very effective way where you're just free form. What are the most important things that I heard in this speech, and what are the areas of improvement, and what would I love to hear more about from the speaker as far as the skills that they've used. So review the manual, find an easy format for yourself to capture the information, know what your speaker's meant to accomplish in advance, and then provide them with the feedback. Thank you so much.
All right.